Okay, I just did a quick jump cut there. Ending cutscene. Go, 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 go. I've received a commendation again. But wait. I thought you were dead. Running down the train tracks with Thancred on the back and explosions. Oh, Gaius.
And so my conquest ends, Cid.
Afraid so, dude.
In smoke and ashes.
Jeez. There's almost a fake out here.
Hear, feel, think. Warrior of light, beloved daughter. The darkness hath fled before the unclosed brilliance of thy spirit. Yet it lingereth still beyond the sight of men, in forgotten corners of the world. In the depths of the abyss yet resideth the Dark One, watchful ever, till this evil be cast out. Never shall the world know aught but a passing peace. Yet for the present, a gentle light shineth o'er the realm of Eorzea. With thee at its heart. From sparkling moat shall it swell to glorious sun, and all the world shall bask in its warmth.
No, we're slipping away.
Blessings and joy be upon thee. Go forth, my child, and be as a beacon of hope for Eorzea and the lands beyond through all the days of thy life.
My lady, all Twin Adder units have fallen back to the outer perimeter.
The Flames have completed their withdrawal, General.
Turn auto advance on for this bit.
Admiral, all hands accounted for.
She's still in there.
Cid, has there been no word?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Damnation!
She's going to make it, I know she is.
Ida is right. We must have faith.
Cid, can they not be evacuated aboard the Enterprise? That adventurer and the Scions are as the Warriors of Light reborn. We cannot abandon them to their fate. Not again.
I wholeheartedly agree, but flying into the midst of that would only add to the fireworks.
There must be something we can do.
You can shut up, you whiny bitch.
Please, Mother Hydaelyn. Please light her way through the darkness.
Look into the light, my child. If thou wouldst see thy companions returned safe to thee, reach out to them now.
There!
Oh!
Yeah!
Yay!
Our Warrior of Light.
Yes! The hero returns!
Look! Thancred is with her!
Thank the 12!
Thank Hydaelyn. Welcome home.
Hello, everybody. Fancy seeing you here. Sometime later.
You almost got us killed that one time, remember?
Now, we both know that was your fault.
Thank the 12 we're safe.
Mind your horns there, man-bull.
Mayhap when you mind your manners.
Though the crystal that bound Thancred is no more, I doubt we can say the same of La Habrea. And even if we could, we know that he is not alone. Confounded Ascians. Their god may be unknown to us, but their zeal is unquestionable. Suffice it to say, it would be folly to assume that they no longer pose a threat.
Indeed.
Nevertheless.
For now.
For now, we must savor what peace we have won, however ephemeral. Do you see, Grandfather? Our first step towards realizing the dream for which you gave your life.
They don't truly know what happened to Louis Soir. Alice is in the process of finding out, mind you.
Friends, the dread night of Imperial tyranny and Ascian machination is ended. A new day now begins in Eorzea.
True to their name, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, along with our champion, have delivered us from darkness.
Let their shared victory serve to remind us of our shared history. And let their bravery in the face of adversity inspire future generations.
Doubt not, the realm will need bravery in the days to come. Old rifts threaten to divide us within our walls, while hordes of beastmen claw at our gates. And though the Black Wolf be slain, the rest of the pack remains. Yet no foe need we fear, so long as we stand as one.
So long as the Scions stand for peace.
So long as our champion stands fast.
Yes.
For there exists no adversity over which we may not jointly prevail.
No longer can we turn a blind eye to the suffering of our allies.
No nation stands alone. If one should fall, so shall we all. Eorzea is our shared home. For any one of us to know peace, so too must our neighbor.
Just as we join in solidarity before you this day, so too shall our grand companies be joined henceforth, to strive not only for the good of mere nations, but for the good of all the realm.
I always imagine him whacking
Change
Merlin
will
in the
not
face
come
during that.
overnight. Yet I foresee a day, not so very far from now, when the lines that divide our lands fade, and all of Eorzea is one.
It has been but 5 short years since the Battle of Cartano. 5 years since the advent of the 7th Umbral Era. No victory, however sweet, can wash away our bitter sorrows. No triumph can reclaim those we lost. Yet do not presume you honor them by dwelling on the past. It was not the past they fought for. You would repay their sacrifice by looking to the future.
A future united, as the warriors of light united in the champion.
Now is the time for us to rise as one, bearing all of Eorzea on our shoulders.
5 years ago, Eorzea bore witness to the end of the 6th Astral Era. Now, the 7th Umbral Era draws to a close, yet we come together not to glory in its end, but to mark a new beginning.
She got a gun.
Let it be writ
that on this day,
by the light of the crystal, Eorzea ushered in a new era.
The 7th Astral Era is come, and thus is ours a realm reborn.
Ah, there it is. Bum, ba-da. Bum, 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 bum. So, that was Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, patch 2.0. That was what you got in the base game when it first came out. And considering they only had 2 years, really, to put this all together, they did a pretty good job of it. The voice acting is, as I've complained about several times, very rushed in places. There's not a huge amount of direction. The writing itself is very gamey. There are some real attempts to create a big epic adventure, but obviously it is still constrained by the format in which that story is told. They definitely took away a lot of lessons for this, because to be honest, it was a huge risk doing this. 1.0 was a massive failure, and during the year or so the 1.0 was actually live, albeit not earning Square Enix any money whatsoever, because they realised it was a crap product and they refused to charge people for it. During the updates and the changes that were made to version 1, they were simultaneously creating version 2, which is this. They had massive engine changes, they had massive changes to plot. They wrapped up the 1.0 story, which was all about Meteor and it being crashed into Eorzea to stop the Primals, or the Beast Tribes, which obviously didn't work. There was more to it than that. And it turned into the Bahamut plotline, which, from what I remember reading, was not the original plan. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of hours worth of content for an MMO, and there are a lot of things. From the 2.0 game that we haven't done yet, there was Wondrous Palace that we haven't gone to, Sunken Temple of Khan, which we haven't been to, but we haven't been to Halatali either. There's Aurum Vale that we haven't gone to, and there was Amdapor Keep, and that was all included in the base game. There was also the Binding Coil of Bahamut, but I can't remember whether that was in 2.0 or whether that was released later. I have a strong suspicion that it was released later. In fact, is there... Right, so 2.0 was A Realm Reborn. The game was released. 2.1 was A Realm Awoken, which had the Extreme Primals, Crystal Tower, PvP, free company housing, and that was the big warrior redo. 2.16 was Waymarks and Pets. 2.2 was the glamour system. So the glamour system wasn't in at launch. That didn't come in until 2.2, about 6 months afterwards, which was coils 6 to 9. Yeah, so it looks like coils 1 to 5 were in with 2.0. Alright, so coming in 2.1, actually we've done some of it already, was the Aesthetician and the Beast Tribe quests for the Sylph and Imalja. The Sahagin and the Kobold ones, actually, which we already picked up, came in 2.2. Dungeon XP has been buffed. Data centers implemented. (2.1) also introduced Hildebrand. Woohoo, Hildebrand! I loved Hildebrand. But yeah, so the 7th Umbral era, with the Calamity, it was so big, it was so dark that they thought, this is a massive, massive dark change in the world after years of prosperity. But the Umbral era is only about 5 years. The Calamity until the present day, when we defeat the Ultimate Weapon, we push back the Ascians, we push back the Empire's attempted conquest of Eorzea. I mean, the Empire was trying it on, obviously, in 1.0 as well, but we have now very much pushed them back for the time being. They're not gone, but their main commander is dead. Their ultimate weapon, literally, is gone. And, yeah. It's all good. Yeah, so there is a lot of stuff still to come. There's a massive amount of content. I mean, we had however many quests it was for the 7th Umble era. I'm not going to go back and count them actually. That would take me a little. Ooh, actually, I've got a list here. There are 184 quests. And in the patch cycle after that, there are 101 quests from the Price of Principles, which is the first 2.1 quest, all the way down to Before the Dawn, which is the quest that takes us into Heaven's Ward, which will be our next target. The Astral Era is all over the place. In some ways, just like A Realm Reborn is all over the place. There are some significant changes, though, that have been made to the Astral Era quests post kind of 3.0 launch. There's a lot of gear being added to quests that otherwise you could only get through tomestones or through dungeons. There have been a lot of extra rewards added to quests to kind of prepare you for the Heaven's Ward experience. Because obviously, when 2.1 through 2.5 were coming out, the level cap was still 70. So all it was gear and item level progression. So by the time Heaven's Ward was released and the kind of content that came out in Heaven's Ward, you were expected to have a reasonable item level. But for people that were playing up through 2.0 through 2.5, there's obviously a lot more progression there because you don't stop earning XP at 50, and you've seen that our bar was still filling up. So whilst we've got a lot of level 50 quests to come now, and they are all worth 4,800 XP, which of course will be doubled, they obviously didn't used to be worth any XP at all because there was a cap. So this has been added in so that we can keep on gearing up. Now, I've done a little bit of this stuff recently. In fact, I've done most of patch 2.2 through 2.5 recently. Not 2.55 though. So I know that I know roughly what we've got coming up. I did it on my main alt, the kitty. So I know what's coming. I know what to do. I know I'm in a reasonable shape, and there is some decent storytelling from 2.4 on. As I think I've said before, there is a real improvement in the storytelling. As soon as we start getting into the Kurthus stuff and the heretics and all that kind of stuff, it really does improve. In some ways, I think 2.1 through 2.3 are not filler, but they're not as well thought through as some of the later stuff is. I mean, we got a primal in each patch. We got Good King Moggle Mog in 2.1. We get Leviathan in 2.2. We get Ramu finally in 2.3. We get Shiva and a new dungeon in 2.4. And that is very much taking us towards the kind of end game for the Astral Era quests. 2.5 gave us a dungeon and a trial. And 2.55, which was the final patch before the expansion, gave us a trial that everybody hated. I mean, everybody hated. But yeah, there was a lot of good story in the latter half of the 2.x era. But we're not there yet. So, Realm Reborn. What was my general feeling about Realm Reborn? Can I even remember? I remember feeling at the time that it was really, really good. That it did a good job of making you, for the most part, feel like a hero. It was a good Final Fantasy game. It annoyed me, and it still annoys me, that we play a silent protagonist. I thought Guild Wars 2 did it a lot better by having the main character fully voiced, but I realise why that could be a real issue for a localisation team, and expensive. When it came out in 2013, it looked really good. Obviously, it's the engine's 4+ years old now, so it is starting to show its age a little bit at the edges. But there's still a lot of really good aesthetic in Final Fantasy XIV. But yeah, the story was good. The characters were okay. I don't think they were given a huge amount of time to grow. I think Gaius as an adversary was a bit meh. You didn't feel his presence throughout, whereas in Heavensward and in certainly in Stormblood, you really did feel the presence of the main adversary all the way through. Yeah, in Heavensward it was the dragons, and in Stormblood it is Xenos all the way through. And I think that is the result of better writing, better planning, having a better idea of where your story's going. In 2.0, they were very much having to try and tie things together from the 1.0 plotline, because you'd still got quite a few players that played 1.0, or the 1.x series of patches, and they played through all of that story, and they expected a continuation of that into 2.x. So they were trying to tie those things together after the guy that was originally in charge was asked to leave or quit or hung his head in disgrace or whatever it was. The guy did. I can't even remember his name now. Was it Tanaka? Something like that. In a way, it's kind of sad actually that you can't go back and play through the 1.x content, though I know there are plenty of playthroughs of it on YouTube, along with all the kind of clunky systems that the game had to go with it. But it was an okay story from what I've heard, but I never experienced it myself, because every time I logged in, I logged into 1.x quite a lot, and yeah, I could never get anywhere with it. It was just so clunky, especially compared to things like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, games that were fresh and fun and going strong or easy to control and had lots of content. Realm Reborn just blew everything away in comparison. I know there were a lot of people that said, Realm Reborn's combat is too World of Warcraft-like, it's too much of a step back, it's too slow compared to some of the changes that came into the combat system towards the end of 1.x's life cycle. But for me, FF14 has always had a good combat speed. It can be very slow to start with, but I prefer it that way. I don't like to be mashing buttons. I played World of Warcraft when Legion released this year, just because I wanted to see where the game was at, and FF14 was in a bit of a lull because Stormblood was a ways off yet. So I tried out Legion, and it was okay. I kind of enjoyed it, but it was a lot of button spam. You know, I didn't like that. I didn't like that, and it's one of the main reasons why I stopped playing Rift, the other being that none of the abilities really felt like they got any weight to them. With FF14, everything's got good animations, good sound effects, good weight to it, especially now. And yeah, there's all the quality music, voice acting, as I've said, a bit iffy, but 2013 was, you know, the start of something. After 2 years, I think the amount of content that we've had in FF14 A Realm Reborn version 2.0 was spot on. Obviously, there were always going to be people that said, there's not enough to do. But considering they only had 2 years to turn this round, I think they did a fantastic job of putting together this game. I think we're almost done with this. Almost. Just like with Stormblood, I'm sure a good 10 to 15 minutes of this video has just been credits. Is there something else? Here we go. Oh, this is the legacy list. This has been changed. If we scroll down, we can't actually scroll down any faster than this, and we will skip this. But I just want to point out, when we get down to it, that my name is on this list. Where am I? Obviously we're under DE. But these are all the people that played version 1. At some point in time, they all had the option of having their name put into the credits, having supported Square Enix all the way through the failure that was 1.x all the way through. I think it was 1.23 or 1.26. I can't remember which. I think it may have been 1.23. That was the final patch before they closed the servers down with the big Bahamut reveal, which kind of hooked everybody for the 6 months or so, was it, before they released 2.0 properly? Man, I've forgotten how many people there were. Where are we? I seem to recall we're in the middle somewhere. Yeah, as much as I moan about the quality of the voice acting in places, especially in 2.0, the music is phenomenal throughout, and that doesn't change all the way through Realm Reborn, Stormblood, Heavensward, all of the patches in between, Death Knight, Punisher. Right, we should be around here somewhere. I seem to recall I just put myself there. There we are. Demajen. Go me. Right. Yes, we don't need to watch this. A special thanks. These people. I don't know who these people are. I don't know why they're getting special thanks. I'm sure it's important. Obviously they've got the Final Fantasy theme in, as you would expect. Oh no, we're not finished yet. Mr. Housing and Mr. Headshots. This is the man responsible, Yoshi P or Naoki Yoshida. Young bloke, especially when he was first put onto the project, he came in to save it, and not only did he save it, he made it into one of Square Enix's most profitable games ever. Currently, this week in fact, they said that they now have 10 million subscribed players, people who are actively playing and paying. A little happiness. With us at the centre, saying nothing as we are wont to do. Hold on. Ooh. I don't remember that at all.
What is it?
What was that?
That roar. It can't be.
Did you hear that?
There's no time to spare.
Where is it coming from?
Dread tidings, chaos and carnage!
Voice acting and...
It is an abomination! A primal has awakened!
Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't remember that cutscene with the Dark Crystal at all. I remember the roaring stuff. Mind you, I suppose it has more importance now. Or more relevance, not importance. It means more to me.
Kas Bahamul move.
One Azaz move star.
Franza Lokpai ki hads Haldorn Zur Ukdorn. We next starve Chemuv. They only cause the horse right ball.
I remember this. These are the main Asians.
Alpha Post!
And yeah, that was the big reveal that Zodiac was their god. Because he's not mentioned at all until that point. And obviously for anybody who's played certain Final Fantasy games, the knowledge that Zodiac is behind everything the Asians do is a bit of a thing. Where there is light, there is always shadow. We're not actually finished with 2.0 yet. Because we can go around and talk to people. Don't think there's anything down here yet. No, it's all been put back together though. Here's our involved. One day I hope to become a hero to the people like you, a hero like Ayaba and Ulu to me. Watching you live the life of a free adventure has helped me realise that I can't help putting up my dreams forever. I've been talking with Wedge about opening a workshop independent of Garland Artworks, maybe in Vilbrand, I don't know. Working with the Chief's grey and all, but someday I want to build my own enterprise, you know? He never does that. You're an inspiration to us all, Demajen, an honest to God's hero that never gives up, never gives in. And neither will I. I'll win to Tara's heart, see if I don't. No you won't. These are... I can't remember which of these we spoke to. These are the 3 blokes, depending on who you choose as your... where you choose as your opening nation. They've all got stuff to say. Father Iliad, Sid... These guys, they all clap. But what we actually want to be doing is getting this final cutscene out of the way. The Archons have conducted a preliminary investigation into the origin of the roar that rang out during the celebration. Their findings strongly suggest that a new primal has appeared. Yeah, so this is where you can go and start the binding coil. The roar generated a distinctive wave pattern in the ether, a pattern observed only once before in history, 5 years ago to be precise. I should like to think it may be a coincidence, yet we cannot discount that possibility. Well, I trust I need say no more. At great sacrifice we have delivered Eorzea from the threat posed by the Empire and the Primals and thereby secured peace. We cannot well allow the realm to be plunged into chaos once more. You've given your all for our cause, risking life and limb on I know not how many occasions, yet our struggle continues and we need you now no less than before. Please continue to stand with us, and together we shall safeguard the future of this realm, of this very star. And there we go, that's us getting our Magitech. Mount speed in Northern Thunderland has increased. Mount speed in the Mist has increased. Warrior of Light. The price of principles is the start of 2.1. Let's use that. Get now some of the Magitech armor mount. And everybody out here has vanished. There are, however, some new quests. We've got Slavsvin here, who's got... Sorry, Ffxiv here, who's got a Kobold initiative that allows us to go and do Kobold quests. We've got Radolf, who's got the Sahagin quests. We've got Wigston over here, who allows us to do some quests down with the U tribes in Forgotten Springs, and we've got Urianger, who gives us Primal Fear. Urianger looks beseechingly in your direction, fear in his eyes. I can't remember what this is. Friend to the dawn, hear my plea. Tidings most ominous arrive from Gridania. A primal walketh in the shroud. Those who have borne the eldritch spirit witness, and return to tell the tale of how that never before had they seen its like. The gods' quiver doth investigate as we speak, and meseems Lord Lewin would welcome a capable adventurer's helping hand. Pray highly to the seal of the first bow and shine their light upon the matter. I think Primal Fear is what gives you the Odin is the word I'm after. Yeah, that's the Odin quest, I believe, Primal Fear. So we can ignore that for the moment. But yeah, there we go. That is Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn 2.0. Pretty good. Pretty good. But it gets better. For now, though, I'm going to spam emotes. I'm going to bow. I like that bow animation. And I'm going to end this stream there. But don't worry, because 2.1 will be starting some point this week. For now, though, goodbye. And I really need to upgrade that gear. Anyway, ta-ta.